John, what have you been working on?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, thanks for that question. I have been working on a story that you might not have heard about because it hasn't been in the news. And this is the catastrophic flooding in southern West Virginia. Shout out to More Perfect Union for picking up the story, sending me down there. I followed around two people I know well, Zach Shrewsbury and Brandy Reese of Blue Jay Rising. Look them up, by the way. They are coordinating a lot of the aid that needs distributed down in southern West Virginia. Um, there was torrential rainpour that hit Appalachia. There were 22 deaths in Kentucky, 3 in West Virginia. But really, we went down there to ask people how they're getting along. But of course, what we found out is there's a ton of devastation everywhere from this flood, and that's the devastation that's just in the short term. But really, the whole area has been neglected over the long term forever. This area has been forgotten about. There hasn't really been political representation. It's been, the playground of billionaires, right? That's where the southern part of the state is, where all the coal was mined out of, timber was taken off of the land forever. And we found a couple interesting things. I mean, mountaintop removal has been happening downstate for a long time. And one of the ways that impacts flooding is they blow the tops of these mountains off. They fill in the streams below, and they make all of these slurry ponds that house toxic runoff from these mining operations. We're talking about the Appalachian Mountains, some of the oldest in the world. Something like 500 mountaintops have been blown up, creating these slurry ponds everywhere that when rain hits, the toxic crap in those ponds flows out into the water streams that are already struggling from coal mining pollution. Billionaires come in here, they take the money, they leave a mess. It's been the story forever in that part of the state, happening to people who are doing the work and making all the billions of dollars for the companies that have really run this state forever. So, on top of that, you don't have a lot of media covering this. A lot of the media that does cover southern West Virginia looks at the people there as poster children. There's a lot of poverty porn whenever cameras do show up in the state. And of course, they rarely show up when they're needed most after these disasters. We talked to some really amazing people. I was talking about in Steven's interview there that this is an area voted heavy for Donald Trump. And now a lot of people are saying, we showed up for him, but we really don't think he's going to show up for us. And nobody has in the past. And I left that shoot thinking, there's a really large appetite out here for political representation, for somebody to come through and accurately reflect the problems and the neglect that have been part of that region, part of this state, all across the whole country. And, I think things can seem very set in stone, but there are ingredients out there for, a populist person on the left to come in and really redefine what it means to represent places that have been forgotten for so long. So it's going to be coming out. It's a quicker shoot. It'll come out in the next week or two. And that is what I have been working on. Jessica, same question to you. What's been on your mind? What have you been up to? Tell us what you've been working on.
Well, I've been getting leaks from the government. FEMA, for one. It's going to be a much worse situation when hurricane season hits, but you've got West Virginia experiencing this disaster, and FEMA's got how many less employees in
Yeah.
the doggy firing spell? It left them with hundreds less, is what I've been told.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's, less emergency managers to deal with situations like this. Not very efficient. Anyway, I've been on vacation. I went to Jordan Rule's
Nice.
wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. I was in California, and I came back here, and it's been snowing for 3 days. But while I was in California, I came across a story. I got a news tip from someone in the area, and it turns out there was Luigi Mangione 2.0. I won't call them that because Luigi Mangione, of course, is not guilty. But
Allegedly.
whoever shot the United Healthcare CEO, a copycat of that guy. It turns out SAFE, which is like the largest workers' compensation insurance agency in Oregon, he lives in this like bougie suburb of Portland, Lake Oswego. Around 4 a.m. on Friday, February 21st, someone shot up his house. He was fine, no one was injured, but clearly this was some kind of message being sent. The police will not tell me what was sent in a threatening email to him, but he did share with the employees of Safe that this happened. His house was shot up. So I don't think you're trying to kill someone if you shoot up their front door. I do think a message was trying to be sent.
And a message probably received.
Yeah. So they're staying scared. And I think there's a reason that this didn't get picked up for national news. I found it 5 days after it happened. So I have a feeling that like national news does not want to report on copycats and give the general public any ideas.
Yeah, they probably heard about our pal K Clips out there talking about media paternalism and censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Taking notes from our buds here on the JJ Pod.
JJ Nation.
JJ Nash, how we doing out there, Nash?